Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nelle Nicole and I will be your astrologer for today. First things first, it's hot as fuck in my office right now. My office is actually in the attic of my house, so yeah, heat rises and it's raining outside. So my fan is definitely on. Sorry for all the Virgo moons. This will be the Virgo moon video, and I know that you guys tend to be a little bit nitpicky about weird sounds and stuff like that, so please accept my apology about the noise in the background. Put them headphones on, turn your volume up, do whatever you got to do so you can get the message, and I will make sure to enunciate and speak very clearly so that we can be efficient in getting this message out. On top of that message, I do have to leave in about 10-15 minutes, so this is about to be the quickest moon video. I hope that you guys can forgive me for that too, but I'm thinking we're doing Virgo moon. Virgo moon likes to get in, get out, get the facts, be efficient, you know, and all that riffraff. Maybe you guys are good with not having the extra 15 minutes attached to your video, because some of these videos got to like 30-35 minutes, so forgive me, this will be the shortest one. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So Virgo moon, first of all, the moon deals with your emotional reactions, how you show up in situations when something has happened to you, what your emotional knee-jerk response is to those types of situations, to crisis, to trauma, to, you know, just any little thing. Honestly, how you cope and how you deal with things in the world, right? So the sun is how we see ourselves, our ascendant is how other people very possibly see us, and then the moon is like when people are actually up close and personal in your space, what they see when they smell your dirty shit, like when they're able to see your dirty laundry. The Virgo moon is the core of you, okay? It's not the complete version of you, it's not the complete picture of you. You do have to take into account every single other placement, right? Because for everybody, every placement might matter more, might matter less, but in general, as a rule of thumb, the moon sign of a human being, of a person, is their deeply ingrained psychological way to deal with life, way to cope with life, right? So, and then Virgo, right? So Virgo is actually mutable earth. So what that means is Virgo is very changeable. In the sense, like, okay, actually Virgo is really stable because it is an earth sign. By nature, it's stable, right? They like to deal with practical matters, physical things. They like to see what's going on. They like to be able to plan, plot out. They're very detail oriented, very much the type of person that can look at something, and I call them nature's troubleshooters, because they can look at something and be like, okay, I don't like this or that about this thing because it's just not perfect. It's not right. If you did it this way, then your operation, your whole entire machine would run better. And they're not big picture people. They are small detail types of people, but you almost need them to be able to execute a big picture. Sorry, my friend just texted me. I hope you guys can still see me. Oh my gosh. Let me try this. Okay. Yeah. So, but you do need these types of people on a team when it comes to putting things together, because they're the perfect type to go along with you. So if you're an artistic type, the Virgo would be like the engineer of the operation, somebody that can actually help keep you on a schedule, somebody that when you run into trouble, you know, issues, they troubleshoot, right? So a lot of times they do work in tech. They do have those types of jobs where they're trusted for their keen eye, you know, like the whole entire company rests on them seeing, you know, every single little detail about things. Okay, so moving on. The thing, I do what I call observational astrology for the most part. Like, I've been studying astrology since I was about 10 years old. Like this, I'm not true to this. I mean, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, okay? But my thing has always been like learning from the people around me. I have no qualms about asking people, when is your birthday? What time are you born? Can I do a chart? Like, I've always been that way. So what I've always seen out of people who have Virgo moons, and even people who, you know, I've had lifelong relationships with, and then turn around and maybe the last couple years of the relationship, you finally get their chart and you're like, oh my God, you have a Virgo moon. That's why you are the way you are. That's why you act like this. That's why you are this way, okay? I feel like my lighting is horrible, but whatever. So, yeah, so these people, on the negative, men and women, tend to be highly self-aware. Now, and honestly, that's not completely negative. It just depends on everything else that's going on in a person's chart, and also just where that person is with themselves, right? Virgo being a practical sign, the men for the most part need to be able to be in a financial situation to where they can move about as they please, do their hobbies and hang with their friends, and they can provide for a woman. If they don't feel like they can do those things, honestly, they don't feel like they can be of service, and that's when you get the slobby type of Virgo, like almost like hella depressed. If you know a Virgo and their spot is a mess and their life is in disarray, it's just because they haven't grounded themselves yet. The highest exaltation of Virgo moon especially, that emotional, right, who you really are when shit hits the fan, is the type of person that needs to be able to provide, needs to help. If they can't help, they see themselves as, usually they wallow into addiction. I'm gonna be honest with you. They find a substance, they find something to numb themselves out, because they are ruled by Mercury. So Mercury being such a fast moving planet of communication, of connectivity, all of the nerves and the receptors in the body are connected through Mercury, right? It's just like means of communication, modes of communication, but also in this way, because communication is really more of the Gemini trope. With Virgo, it's more of the efficiency, the little fractals that make up a bigger piece, right, of something. And so these people can get nervous very, very easily. So if they're not focused, if they don't have a job that they love or that they can commit themselves to where they feel useful, that is #1 trait. They need to feel like they're being of use wherever they are. They will move and they will find a use for themselves. And if they can't find a use for themselves, they numb themselves out, because it's like, oh my God, there's too much going on in my head. Everything just looks fucked up. Like, if I can't fix everything, I'm just gonna numb out and dip into the background. That's what I experienced. And also, you know, these people can project a lot of negativity sometimes if they're not okay with themselves, because they honestly see what's wrong with the picture before they see what's right with the picture. Especially when you're dealing with somebody who's coming from their moon sign, their emotional responses are that way. And so, you know, when you confront them about something, it's like, hey, I really don't necessarily like when you do A, B, or C. They'll be like, they'll come at you with every wrong thing you've ever done. And you're like, bitch, if you felt that way, why didn't you just tell me? Like, it just is what it is. But it comes from them being very insecure already, very self-conscious already. They know, even if they don't know what you're telling them, they're not looking at it because they don't want to see it. They don't like to see themselves as not perfect. That's just what it is. I only have 15 minutes. I'm going to cut it to y'all straight. They don't like to see themselves as not perfect. Although they do have that kind of chip on their shoulder, they are mutable earth. Okay, so what does that mean? They like to provide a stability for various different types of people. Their opposite is Pisces, right? So Pisces being the enigma of the zodiac, they share that actually. So Virgo is the opposite of Pisces, where they're more practical and down to the ground and in real time, but at the same time they always want to be that stable rock for a person who's more floaty, like the Pisces. Okay, so Virgo moons go very well with water signs. They go okay with air signs. Actually Virgo moons, like Virgo energy period, is it's mutable, so it's able to support lots of different types of structures on top of it. I hope that what I'm saying is making sense. I feel like I've been trying to reach the same point in 1,000 different ways, Virgo, so don't kill me for not being efficient about that. But yeah, you guys can gel with whoever you have the will to gel with, whoever you feel like you like. If you like an aspect about a person, you can find a way to compliment them. Virgos are excellent compliments, especially in relationships, friendships, work environments, because they just want to be the fixer, bro. Like, whatever your situation is, they're gonna come in, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I understand. They're very hippie, hippy dippy almost. Like, they're characterized by the virgin, but to me that just is like, how do I want to say it? Like, they can seem like they're being nice to you and they're docile, but really they're judging the fuck out of you. But they want to help you, so they don't want to come across as like Capricorn would be like, you dumb broad, like, why aren't you doing it this way? You could be so much further ahead. Virgo's gonna be like, so I see you haven't done laundry. I'm gonna come over on Saturday and do your laundry for you, and we'll watch Real Housewives. And it'll be like, what? But they want to be of service. They can be a little shady in that aspect, especially if they don't like you. If they don't like you, they're gonna cut you. Like, they're gonna make it very obvious that they don't have a liking towards you. But if they fuck with you, they'll want to help somehow. They'll look at your life and be like, this is how I can put myself into your life, and this is where you need me, you know. So because they are always self-scanning, they are so analytical in the mind, a lot of times they you'll see them like in social situations trying to act normal. Like, I work with a Virgo moon. He gonna be mad. But I saw him the other day and I was just looking at him and he was looking at another person. And then he saw me looking at him and he stared at me. And I could see him calculating in his mind, like, oh my God, was she just looking at me? How long was she looking at me? Did she see me looking at this other person? Did she just notice what happened? Like, and I'm just sitting there looking like, I knew, and then he told me like 30 minutes later that he had a Virgo moon. I already knew he had a Virgo sun, but these people self-scan. Like, you will find them in whatever situation that's going on, especially if there are other people in the room besides you two. If it's you two, they tend to be more comfortable. If you're their friend, they will be comfortable with you, but then as soon as another energy comes into the room, they're sizing themselves up to you. To see how is this other person that's coming into the situation going to perceive me in comparison to this person. I had a girlfriend, oh my gosh, like a friend or whatever, you know, like a best friend, Virgo moon. I didn't know until like late in our, you know, relationship or whatever that was the case. And I swear I used to like know that she would do that and she would never admit to it, but I'd be like, bro, why you always comparing yourself to me? Like, how come when people come around you get weird, bro? You get fucking weird. And she'd be like, you get weird, you get super expressive. I'm like, that's a part of my personality, but I'm not like secretly getting quiet and sitting back and like calculating and then saying little smart stuff, saying little retorts. Like, bro, it gets, when they feel insecure or when they feel like they're sizing themselves up to somebody and they don't feel they measure up, they become very self-conscious and self-aware, and you can see it on their face. Like, have you ever been talking to a person and you realize they're not listening to you? They're all in their own head, like thinking about whatever they're thinking about, but then like add this look of worry on top of it. If you know a Virgo moon who does that, please comment below, like this video, subscribe to my channel, because you're a real one, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. But when they are at peace, like I said, they want to be kind and of service. They offer help as an emotional response. So, oh my gosh, you know, my dog just died. Okay, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to help you. I'm going to cook dinner for you tonight so you don't have to worry about it. You can just sit on the couch and like wallow, and I'm going to come and just be with you. That is Virgo moon. I knew an old lady one time, like, bruh, she needed a caretaker, but like I was working at a group home with her and she was so nice. Like, she needed a caretaker, but she was there taking care of all these people. And whenever I was on shift with her, I would feel bad. Like, girl, go sit down. Like, I'll get you together. You want some coffee? Like, I'm trying to service her because she's working so hard to service these people. But I'm like, girl, you need a caregiver, girl. But it was in her heart. Like, you could tell if she stopped coming to work, she would probably be worse off because she needed to move around. That's another thing with Virgo. They tend to be more youthful as they grow in age. So, you know, they don't always, like, in young Virgo moons tend to be very wise. They're very calculating. They overthink situations, and they learn with age to just kind of let life flow sometimes. So you can see them loosen up a little bit more, become more cool, become more just chill, let the shit roll off their back as they get older. But they also get more playful, and they need that mobility. They need to be able to move their limbs, to do something, to be of service to someone, to have some sort of responsibilities that keep them waking up in the morning and going. Like, my dad is a Virgo sun, but he's like that too. He's like 75 years old and retired about, I think, like 10 years ago, something like that. But he still gets up every day and he does something, and people look at him and they're like, are you 50, bro? Like, he looks at least 25 years younger than he actually is. So, and with the moon signs, they're like, this is gonna affect how you feel. So like, these people are likely to get depressed if they don't put themselves to a task every day. They need that. Okay. They pay special attention to their own habits, right? Because Virgo does rule the 6th house. 6th house is the everyday house. It's the employment house. It's the domestic house. It's the house of habits, the house of health, nutrition, those types of things. The workings, the inner workings of the body, right? Those types of things. So these people tend to be health nuts. If they're not health nuts, they usually will binge and then go on a health kick. Binge, health kick. Like, they'll drink, but then also you'll go to their house and they won't have any bad snacks. They'll have like protein bars and oatmeal and shit like that, like, and fruit and nuts, lots of nuts. They like nuts. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah. Like, my dad, his thing was Coca-Cola. Always has some Coca-Cola, but then everything else in our house would be healthy. Like, why are you drinking this battery acid, bro? But it was his thing since he was a kid. Like, so that habit stuck with him throughout life. their stomachs tend to be very sensitive. They can't eat a lot. You know, there might be certain foods that they're just like, they might even be prone to a lot of allergies. I'm trying to get out of here, guys, so I'm talking real fast. They might be prone to a lot of allergies. And, you know, when you get emotional, sometimes, like, it affects your stomach, that can't eat, can't sleep feeling. So, yeah, they tend to eat very light. Like, I remember being younger, and my dad would eat nothing but salads, and I would be pissed. Like, we would go to really good restaurants, and he would always get a salad, and I'd be like, bro, like, what is with you? Why you can't enjoy a meal with your family? I used to be mad, like, internally. And then as I got older, I started to become more like, honestly, I'm the same way. So I get it. Like, dealing with that stomach, that very sensitive, you know, if something's not right, I'm not eating that bullshit. Like, I'm not even gonna do that to my body. I'm gonna keep my body in good working order. Again, paying attention to details, being very efficient, right? If I eat this now, it's gonna taste good now, but then later I'm gonna feel like shit, and I have shit to do. I can't be feeling like crap because I gotta keep moving, right? So it's about fuel. They are the type of people that eventually come into what is it? Eating to live, not living to eat. But they can also be really good cooks, and if you're like married to a Virgo moon and you like something that they make, they will make it for you just to be of service to you. A lot of times they come off as shy and they try to act cool. They're really not that shy. They just need to be comfortable around people because of that self-scan thing. So if you don't necessarily know them, they close up, right? So if there is they tend to be very introverted. So if there is, like for me with my old friend, I was the extroverted one, so that made her hella uncomfortable because, like, I have Gemini ascendant, she has Virgo moon, so it's like my outward expression is the same as your inward expression. Very quick, very like I can scan a person and just be like, oh, let's talk about this, let's talk about that, like whatever. Like, and she was just like, girl, shut up, because girl, you might say the wrong thing, girl. Oh my god, you're so like, you just don't even give a fuck what you say, huh? Like, it was just like that. So it was an opposition there. But they can act shy, but then they try to be like, oh no, I'm cool, G, I'm cool. Like, she used certain slang and I would just laugh like, girl, you don't say that shit until people come around. But whatever. They are hard to open up because they want to keep that cool exterior. They are pretty vulnerable people when you get to know them emotionally, especially, but they'd rather deal with it on their own. They feel as though they are better off serving other people by helping other people unpack, as opposed to like letting another person help them unpack. They're okay with dealing with you and your shit, but they don't necessarily like people to know everything that's going on with them, because they think that people are going to judge them, because they're secretly judging you, because they secretly want to help you. And it's all positive at the end, but it's kind of a Debbie Downer energy if you're not trying to solve a problem. If you just want to be, they always are looking to improve, which is the thing that I actually like about Virgo moon. They always want to improve upon the design. Whatever it is that they're doing, they can find a way to make it better, and I really appreciate that. A lot of times because they have such an even head, they want to save their partner. Younger Virgo moons especially, they want to say, especially the women, because they are that virgin archetype. They want to come in and be like, oh, let me just make it all better. But like at the end of the day, they see that they need somebody who's going to cater more to the Virgo moon. It's not going to take advantage of a Virgo moon, okay? So somebody who's going to actually be a provider to them, somebody who's going to be of service to them, maybe even a little bit older, somebody that's a little bit more mature than them, who can teach them something in life, because really they need somebody who can check them, but that they can respect. Because one thing about a Virgo moon, you cannot check them. If they look at you and you don't got your shit together, don't say nothing to them. Nothing at all. They will snap at you, knock your damn head off. Don't say nothing to them. But if you're mature and you have your shit together and you have something to offer, they'll still be stubborn about it, but then eventually they'll come around and they'll be like, okay, you're right, you know? So they need somebody that's older and a little bit more established than them, so that they can flourish as, like, really, they're very spiritual people. Excuse me, a lot of times they might not tap into that or let other people in on that side of themselves. And if they're not in touch with that, that's when they can be very self-conscious, very self-aware, very insecure, right? But once they get in touch with their groundedness, their practical nature, spiritually, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze, that's when they can flourish. And if they have another person who's providing and who's helping take care of the household, like, they become, oh my gosh, like super moms, super spouses. Like, they are there. They will make your lunch every day. They will do your laundry. They will, you know, be there to listen to your stories. They will, whatever you need, really. And it depends on the partner, what they do. I mean, like, they will meet you wherever you are if they fuck with you. One thing that is kind of irritating about them is that they can be super criticizing, but that goes back into that self-critical piece, and they project that onto other people. Sometimes it's kind of irritating, but when they feel aggy, they can be kind of moody, and that can come out as like them criticizing you. And then if they don't really mean it, they'll come back later and be like, I'm sorry, I was just in a mood, my bad, whatever. Excuse me. They are very organized, and they want to be as perfect as possible. So again, that homemaker aspect, like I know a lot of people with Virgo placements love what's that store where you can go get containers? Is it called the container store, where you can go get like cubicles for your closet, and you can make compartments and do all types of shit, and like they press their clothes out and then they hang them up, and then they're like, oh, all my shoes have to be color coordinated in this bitch. And then they also can be master couponers too, because if you, for instance, there's a Virgo moon woman and the guy is providing for the family, she's not just going to spend your money all willy-nilly. She's very frugal, very practical, right? It makes her feel good emotionally to know that she's servicing her family by buying the most items at the least amount possible, so they can be extreme couponers actually too. They're most energized when they're at the home, because they don't feel like they have to overthink everything, like they're in their little domain, so their brains can kind of spill out into their house, so they can become active in the home, and it doesn't numb them out, but it allows them to have peace of mind. Work as well, but they have to be really comfortable at the workplace. But yeah, and the men might have a need to want to save or heal the partner. The men could actually be very, very blessed spiritually as well with their hands. Practical, apothecary type of shit. Like, what is it called? Shamans and stuff like that. Like they can come up with a little potion. Oh, you feeling sick, baby? Let me make you some little tea and honey with a little lemon and some ginseng, and put that in there. And like, yeah, health food store, they love Dale's, they love the health food, they love smoothies, they love all of that type of stuff. Detoxes, oh my god, such a Virgo moon thing, because they are always about tuning up the system and just keeping things in great working order. So guys, I'm so sorry I had to just like speed through that video. I'm gonna go to work now and upload this while I'm there. I love you guys so much. If you would like a personal reading from me, you can email me at nelleforhighvibe@gmail.com, or you can check out nellenicole.com. You want to go to the services page, I think it is, or booking page, something along those lines. It's on there. There's only 3 pages, so you'll find it. I'm also selling my crystals on nellenicole.com. Make sure you check that out. And there's actually a promo code going around. If you look on my YouTube page, on my post, my community post, there's a promo code going around. So if you want that discount, boo, you better look for it, okay? And then what's the last thing I want to say? If you want to follow me on social media, all that information is down below. I will see you guys for the next one. Again, I'm so sorry for rushing. Comment down below and let me know if this matches with the Virgo moon that you know. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it to anybody that you know that knows somebody with Virgo placements or that has Virgo placements. Oh, and check out my sun sign playlist too. And I will see you guys later. Love you so much. Bye.